It looks like talent are upset at Triple H, the direction of WWE Creative, and they're standing with the company. A new report outlines why many people are not exactly thrilled with the current pace that WWE is going in, especially in one of their key divisions. We're going to talk about that. We're also going to get into a premier free agent talent who has officially announced that they have signed with All Elite Wrestling. All that much more coming up right here in this video. So be sure, leave a thumbs up, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you get notified whenever a new video is released. All right, before we get into everything, I know that I haven't been posting at all over the past week. Obviously, I noted that there was a personal reason for that, and well, the personal reason was that I had a family member pass away. I had to go attend that funeral, attend to some personal things there, and I just wanted to say from the bottom of my heart, everyone who reached out in the comments or in DMs or whatever, I really appreciate you. Seeing people at least, take that chance or take that opportunity to, let me know that they wish me well or whatever was really cool, and thank you guys so much. Anyway, all right, jumping right back into the news. It looks like the women in WWE, the women's division, I should say, in WWE, are not exactly thrilled with the current direction of that division, according to a brand new report from FightfulSelect.com. Several women on the WWE roster spoke with Fightful and noted the lack of focus on developing contenders, the tag team division, and screen time for women outside of the top of the division. This was said to be specifically in comparison to NXT, where main roster women's talent have noticed how much screen time and focus those talent get and how emotional investment follows. There was also a point of redundant storylines with the same talent not only being featured at the top of the card, but even in the mid-card title scene. Those that we spoke to were happy for those who got that screen time and said it shouldn't be they are getting too much conversation. It should be give other people more attention in addition to them conversation. All right, you guys can also, by the way, read the full Fightful Select report linked in the description, but this seems to be the case that we all kind of knew. I think this is not news to anyone who's been following the women's division, kind of where that's gone over the past couple of months. The reality is, as I stated in a video that I just posted earlier this week, Triple H is not doing a good job booking the women on the main roster. It is just true. Outside of Rhea Ripley, outside of the little bit of business that they did with Tiffany Stratton and Nia Jax, there really has not been much long-term storytelling or storytelling period with women on the WWE roster. And I think that there is an important nugget to take from there. You notice how in the report it was cited that emotional investment was lacking on the main roster. Whereas in NXT, it plays a critical role in why you care about these characters and why at the end of the day you watch the show. For WWE right now, it is one of their biggest problems, not just in the women's division, but across the board. Right now, outside of a very few amount of characters, you're not emotionally invested in what people are doing. And there are even characters who you were emotionally invested in past years that you really aren't at this point, or you're at an emotionally invested level to a lesser degree than you used to be. Bottom line, right now, WWE is making it hard for people who watch the show week to week to care about these characters. And for the women's division, it's compounded because women don't get enough screen time as it is. You have segments like the segments between Rhea Ripley and Liv Morgan for the past couple of months that are given a lot of screen time, and that's great, but where was the effort to build up a tag team picture? WWE has a women's tag team title. They, at one point, had two sets of women's tag team titles in NXT and on the main roster that they eventually combined. And part of the reason they combined them was they were finding it very difficult to book both divisions at the same time. And now they're having trouble booking that in general. Right now, Naomi and Bianca Belair are the women's tag team champions. And right now, what's a women's tag team that's going to challenge them and going to step up and that has been primed over the past couple of weeks, months, whatever, to be in that spot? I'll wait. You couldn't think of one, could you? That's the problem. WWE arguably has the most talented women's roster in the entire world right now. They have women who have featured in main events of WrestleMania, main events of SummerSlam, sold out stadiums, etc. And yet, we're sitting here having a conversation about whether or not people are emotionally invested. That is on the booking. It has nothing to do with the talent. It has nothing to do with the skill level or whatever of the people that they have or the people they've employed. It's about the booking. It's about the creative. It's about Triple H. It's about Road Dogg. It's about everyone who writes and oversees the creative on these shows. If they don't get it right, then of course there's going to be frustrations, and there should be. Right now, we're looking at a situation with WWE where they have two sets of now newly introduced women's mid-card titles, which is fantastic. They have the roster to make it happen. They have the ability to make it happen. But right now, they are not making it happen. They're struggling even to try to set up challengers and tell stories that get people in positions for these championships. Instead, they're going with the easier route of having these number one contender matches, which again, I'm not opposed to. But over time, the goal with these titles is not just to have tournaments or number one contenders matches or whatever. It's to actually tell stories with the belt and for people to care about what they're watching. If people don't care about what they're watching, then how do you expect them to continue to watch? And right now, obviously, WWE is as hot as it's ever been. But if they continue down this route in the women's division specifically, I think we're going to see a stark change in not just the way fans view WWE's women's division and their booking of women in general, but also how talent view WWE's booking of the women's division. Because right now, there is another viable option. AEW is by no means perfect when it comes to booking women's wrestling, but they've gotten a whole hell of a lot better at doing it and a whole hell of a lot better at telling multiple storylines on the same show in one night and doing it in a cohesive way. And when you combine that with the likes of Trinity Fatu, now known as Naomi in WWE, who have proven that you can make a name for yourself outside of WWE, there's a lot more options than there ever have been for women to wrestle. Does that mean that you're going to see a mass exodus of premier talent go over to other companies? No, but I think it's going to make it a little bit more enticing for people when their contracts are up. Will it happen? We'll see, but only time can tell. Move on now to our next and final story. Let's talk about AEW signing one of the hottest free agents in professional wrestling. His name is Speedball Mike Bailey. We saw this past week on Collision. They had a promo package essentially announcing that Mike Bailey would be coming to AEW. He is coming. Shout out to Veer and shout out to Hook. And Mike Bailey even confirmed as much on his Twitter, saying, quote, "I have been blessed for my whole career with the ultimate support from all over the world, with unlimited support from all over the world." I can't read today. I'm sorry. "I can't thank you all enough. My biggest accomplishment in life has been making every year my best year yet, and I'm extremely excited to keep that going in AEW. Hashtag AEW Collision." Now, Mike Bailey, for those of you who do not know, is probably one of the most electrifying free agents that was out there on the scene today. He has had an insane run over the past couple of years. He was the Indie Wrestler of the Year in 2021, and he has now moved up the ranks, obviously at one point signing with TNA, and proving that he is a hot prospect, a prospect that even WWE was rumored to be interested in. And now he is going to AEW, a place where I think is going to need more stars like Mike Bailey, because I think Mike Bailey is exactly what you'd want in someone to be in things like the Continental Classic, to be in things like the Dynamite Diamond Ring tournament, and like, he's the type of guy who's going to add excitement when he comes into that ring. He's fast, he's electrifying, he's cool as a cucumber when he's doing it, and he's got a style all of his own. It's a mix of like MMA meets high flying, meets almost like a bruiser kind of thing. It's really cool. And I always said, I'm on record, one of my favorite matches, probably my favorite match, one of my favorite matches, because I've seen Bryan Danielson versus Swerve Strickland live in person, but one of my favorite matches I've ever seen in person was a GCW match a couple of years ago. It was actually Smiley Kylie Ray versus Mike Bailey, and I thought both of those people put on a performance, and that's really when I first took notice of, oh, this is a guy who's going to go when he's in front of a big platform like a WWE or an AEW, and he's going to show people, especially that live crowd, exactly what he's made of. So shout out to him for getting this big break. It's going to be interesting to see what they do with him. I would like to see him come out maybe in like a casino battle royale or a casino gauntlet, actually, is probably what they're going to end up doing at the Double or Nothing pay-per-view. And maybe he's going to be like a surprise entry in that. That would be a great way to debut him. They did that with Ricochet. They've done that with other people. We'll see what they do, but I want to hear from you guys in the comment section. Are you excited to see Mike Bailey in AEW? Woo! What do you want to see? Woo! Woo! Who do you want to see? This is late night. I am tired. I'm recording this literally coming off a plane, and I'm doing it just for you. But who do you guys want to see Mike Bailey go up against? Let me know in the comment section. Also, let me know what you guys think of the FightfulSelect.com report about WWE's women's division expressing their frustration. I want to hear from y'all. Be sure to smash that thumbs up, subscribe, hit that notification bell. And to everyone who made it this far in the video, thank you so much. And thank you so much to everyone who reached out. Again, it means the world to me, and can't wait to keep churning out these videos for you guys every single day. We'll see you.